install in a 2004 to 2008.5 Club Car Precedent. These are very well known. They were very popular in their time. The problem with these is they got that big center console in there where the control and everything sits. Stock controller, stock everything else. So I'll take you through the battery install and then voltage reducer and fuse box that I put in our charger. So yeah, you can always tell because the center console is from 2004 to 2008.5 in the Club Car Precedent. All right, batteries are removed. Couple power wires there. I'm gonna take the cover off next. It's just this 10mm bolt here, and that's it. This is where a lot of people get confused. I'll be happy to go over all this and how I convert. I do replace all the cables. I do bypass the OBC, and I take all the unnecessary wiring out there. Why they did this monster loop here with the resistor is silly. It just goes across the solenoid. So I terminate these ends and just go across the solenoid like they do in later ones. Charge ports here. You can see one positive cable to the batteries, no big deal. The rest of it goes to the OBC, which we're removing. So we're gonna unplug this 6-pin. We do have it going to the negative here, which we need to remove that from the controller. All right, removing the bolt from the controller. Okay, I'm gonna separate that. OBC is removed, and we're gonna take a piece off of that, but I'll show you what I crimp with that connector. The last thing I wanna touch on for removal is our main positive cable. Guys, don't reuse these. Like, I mean, look how bad this is. You know it's full of corrosion. It's gonna heat up. If your kit doesn't come with a new cable, buy new ones. This is probably one of the trickier ones because there's so much coming off of it. Like I said, there's this big wire here, or that goes to resistor, that goes across our coil. I'm going to remove the resistor, and I will re-terminate each end to a ring terminal, and I'll go back across that solenoid. The only other thing you gotta remember is there's gonna be this wire here that's also attached to it. So we're gonna terminate this. We're gonna terminate both of these, and we're gonna go here and there. Guys, it's crazy. Like the amount of corrosion those nasty lead acids cause. All right, I use water and baking soda to clean everything out. All right, guys, if you remember right, this is the OBC I took out. I like to cut it. Leave yourself plenty of room. I'm just gonna cut them all. Remember, this isn't going back in, so we don't care that much about this. This stuff, done, throw it away. We're gonna take the blue and the white, and I'm going to solder them. Nice and soldered, and then I'm gonna take heat shrink, and I'll put some here. The marine heat shrink that has the sealant in it. This was that other end. We connected the blue and the white, and we just sealed off the other ones, and we put it in, and boom, OBC is bypassed. Okay guys, we only use a 5-wire reducer. When we turn the key off, we wanna make sure our reducer turns off, so we have our trigger wire here. Okay, so reducer's mounted, we'll wire it up, and then on the other side, I did mount the fuse box. I took that black wire and my white wire, and I went to the negative terminal on the fuse box, and I went to the positive. So now all these slots will have positive, and these 6 spots on the top will be where we put ring terminals for negative. All right, so I crimped on these with some ring grade. I like to use these because I like to put them on the solenoid like this. And then I like to heat them up with my heat gun. And that way it'll take that shape and kind of stay like this and hopefully put less stress on the joint. All right, so another wire that was connected was this 48 volts. That needs to be, we need to put a ring terminal in that, and we need to go to the positive side from the battery. Cable, then we're gonna take our resistor, and then this wire also that I just got done with. If you guys remember right, there was this wire that was connected to the other part of that resistor. I leave it. There's no reason not to. Yes, it'll have 48 volts to it, but that's not a problem. I just zip tie it to here, and all Precedents, new or old, require a little bit of trimming. These large humps, I cut these down. I turn it sideways like that at a great angle so you can get in there and just chop it down nice and easy. Guys, as you can see, I dropped the battery in. I put the terminals to the back. There's still room to connect the port for the screen. Hey, I did skip a step. On the back, you can get 3 in there. On the front, I just do the 1. Main positive will be closest to the battery. Then I'm gonna do my charger, which is my next biggest cable. And then last, I'm gonna do the reducer. All right, guys, so my connections are all on. Like I said, power cable to the battery first, then charger, then reducer. Same thing on the negative side. So back to our reducer. Remember, we have our blue wire, our trigger wire. I said we would talk about this after. So club car is a little bit easier. Easy go can be somewhat difficult depending on the years. So what I want to do is we have 2 terminals down here to the solenoid. So I'm going to turn my battery on. Our cart's turned off. We are in tow. We're going to put it in run. Okay. And we're going to test the voltage. We got 0 on that side. And I believe 0 on this. So both of these don't have voltage. I'm going to turn the key on. Okay. And we got 52 volts there. And 52 volts there. All right. So we turn the key off. 0, 0. All right, so we can choose either one of these. I'm going to choose this one. So what I do is I cut this terminal end off and I splice my blue wire in with this wire and plug it back into the solenoid. Now our trigger is on for the 12 volt. I have now combined my trigger wire. So when we turn the key on, we should have lights. Yep. Trigger wire from reducer, blue wire, tied in to the solenoid with a new crimped end. Our charge port fits in there. It's snug, but it fits in there really well. So you gotta be careful because like that screw didn't go through it properly because, wow, I'm trying to film and do this. There. Now you can see it's all in there. It's a little smushed, but you really can't tell. Okay, everyone, this is the screen. I'm going to mount it in the front and then route this wire back because this screen, it's all sealed back here and it's kind of a pain. I drilled a hole behind it and I routed the cable through. I run it through here and then I'll run down the whole body. There's a harness there. All right, so I've loosely routed my cable. You can see where it goes in the battery. So this is why we went to the 90 specifically for this cart. Really the last thing to connect is our charger. That plugs into our port. I put that panel back in, as you can see, with the charge port. It's just literally as simple as plugging in an appliance. And then this end here, this is the charger out. That goes to the other end, which I have routed here. And you just connect those. And that other end went to the battery, which you should have connected, which I showed you previously. Obviously, we got a whole lot more cable running out of there. And my negative is slightly short, so I had to go at a different point. So I'm going to take this slot, make it much larger, and we'll make a smaller one a little further down. The cable routing, I think it turned out pretty decent. Made an extra slot there. And then we go to the other side and we have room for our charger cables. To wrap it up for this install for the 2004 to 2008.5 Club Car Precedent. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, we'll be doing more videos like this in the future, hopefully better quality and in our new shop. again, hit us up at Reuter Lithium for any battery needs or any questions about installs. We'll do what we can to help you. Appreciate you.